This is the brief on the intense, magical battle in The Great Ruler episode 146. Okay, so we're jumping into a really key moment from the popular fantasy series, The Great Ruler. You've got the main guy, Chen, up against this antagonist, Xiao Kuang, and his super complex magic setup, the Sky Intersecting Array. And this isn't just like powers clashing, it's all about some serious strategic mind games with huge stakes. First off, Chen comes up with this brilliant layered plan against Xiao Kuang's big array. He throws out 3 decoy arrays, these underworld lotus things, just to distract. But secretly, he set up like 10 smaller arrays to basically trap the spiritual energy, the Ling Qi, inside Xiao Kuang's main array. Sneaky, right? It just drains its power. He even uses his special heart-linking eyes perception to figure out where the real center of the array is, because Xiao Kuang tried to hide it with fakes. Second, while all that's happening, the fight really explodes with powerful attacks. Xiao Kuang's array summons these giant spirit snakes, then these massive snake chakram things. Wild. Chen fights back with his own powerful spiritual weapon, the demon dragon devouring spear. But then, and this is huge, Chen's powerful ally, Ro Li, Queen Ro, she jumps in. She stops Xiao Kuang's buddy, Sha Wang, who was about to blast Chen with this insane flaming horn bow. It's a mighty magical item, an artifact of heaven. Close call. Finally, it turns out Chen's real goal the whole time, freeing Huanqing Chen. She's this incredibly strong warrior, used to be ranked number 1, now number 3. See, Xiao Kuang was holding her captive to control her allies, so Chen's diversions, they actually weaken the energy holding her, letting her break free with her golden spear.
Really highlights Chen's cunning strategy, some seriously intense magic fights, and freeing a key ally, which totally changes the game. This is the brief on Chen's battle in the Sky Swirl array. So, let's jump into a really intense moment from The Great Ruler episode 147. We're talking about Chen facing this massive magical challenge, the Sky Swirl array, and, uncovering some hidden stuff along the way. First off, you gotta see Chen's confidence here. He's a formation master, right? Someone super skilled with these powerful magic arrays. And he just waltzes in alone to take on the Sky Swirl array, even though it's tough enough to trouble his ally, Wen King Qian. She kind of teases him at first, but then you see her admiration when he just gives this cool, self-assured smile. Xiaohu, the guy who made the array, tries to scare him off, but Chen, nah, he's like, one person's plenty. Second, Chen pulls off some amazing power moves and, honestly, some clever tricks. He starts by tackling these giant serpents the array throws out. Total distraction, right? Gets Xiaohu looking the wrong way. Then, bam! He goes straight for the array's real weak spot. We see him using black lightning, firing up his lightning god body technique, and then, get this, he brings out this huge, ancient demonic pillar. Xiaohu totally panics, even uses his own blood to make this colossal serpent counterattack, but Chen doesn't back down. He pumps more dark energy into that pillar and just smashes the array's core and the giant snake. Boom. And finally, what does this all mean? Well, Chen grabs a cool 20,000 points off Xiaohu. Wen King Qian, totally impressed again, remembering just how powerful he is. This win is also a big deal for the upcoming 5 Great Academies competition and definitely heats up his rivalry with Qian. But here's the real twist. Chen figures out Xiaohu couldn't have done this alone, suggesting there are bigger players hiding in the shadows who actually show up right at the end. So yeah, Chen's smart tactics and sheer power didn't just win the day. They peel back a layer on a much bigger, hidden game being played.
This is the brief on The Great Ruler, Chen's unprecedented challenge. Alright, so we're diving into episode 148 of The Great Ruler, and let me tell you, this one's a biggie. We're looking at a really high-stakes showdown for our main guy, Chen. It's gonna test him, stir up some major rivalries, and honestly, it could totally shake up who holds the power in the whole series. So what are the absolute must-knows from this episode? Let's break it down. First, there's this huge challenge aimed right at Chen. And get this, It's orchestrated by Qian, who's currently ranked #1. He's sicked 3 really tough groups on Mu Chen, led by Mo Xiu, Ning, and Liu San. These guys are ranked 14th, 15th, and 16th. So, top tier. They're almost hitting that crazy, powerful spiritual disaster stage 2 level. Qian basically wants to see if Mu Chen is actually worth his time as a rival. Second, Mu Chen doesn't just defend himself. Oh no. He throws down an audacious counter-challenge. He basically says, loud and clear, he's going to take down all 3 of these powerful challengers in one move. Wow. Talk about confidence, right? It's a direct shot at Qian's ego, and maybe even a nod to Qian's own past victories. It really shows how much stronger Mu Chen's getting. Finally, Mu Chen isn't facing this alone. He's got his super loyal companion, Luo Li, right there with her famous Roshan sword. And he's also backed by Huang Kong Qian, who used to be the top-ranked fighter herself. They both jump in to defend him fiercely, which tells you a lot about the trust and bonds he's built. Plus, it really highlights that intense, long-running rivalry bubbling between Mu Chen and Qian. Kind of hints Mu Chen might have had the upper hand before, even with Qian at #1 now.
So yeah, this episode is totally setting the stage for an incredible display of power, smarts, and loyalty as Mu Chen faces this massive test and calls out the reigning champ directly.
This is the brief on Mu Chen's decisive victory. Okay, picture this. A high-stakes spiritual cultivation battle where folks harness energy to get stronger. Our guy Mu Chen faces top rivals, but then pulls off this shocking power move that could change the whole competition. So let's break down 3 key things that happened. First, Mu Chen uses this wild technique, the Mu Shen scripture wood spirit transformation. He doesn't just pull energy, Ling Qi, from the air, he yanks it right out of a huge forest. That's usually only for top Z-Zune masters, way above his level. He turns tons of trees to dust, condensing their life force into a massive sea of spirits. Second, that new sea of spirits? Wow! He turns it on 3 rivals, Mua Q, Ning, and Liu San. They hit him with their best shots, think fiery dragons, giant palms. But Mu Chen's one wave just crushes their attacks. Boom. They had to concede, showing off his terrifying strength. Finally, Mu Chen's smart too. After beating those 3, he returns their valuable 10,000-point badges, crucial for advancing, saying his real beef is with Qian. Smart avoids extra enemies. Then, he immediately confronts Xiao Huang, demanding his 20,000 points. Shows he's focused on his goal and the high stakes. So yeah, Mu Chen's combo of raw power and smart moves definitely makes him the one to watch in this whole thing.
This is the brief on the Great Ruler's escalating conflict. So, we're diving into a really key part of the Great Ruler. You know, that epic fantasy world? It's all about how alliances form, alliances break, who's got the power, and yeah, this personal rivalry heating up big time. First off, Mu Chen's power moves. He's playing it smart. Okay, so he faces this Shakuang alliance, right? And he basically tells them, give me your scores, those crucial ranking points, or else. But he's clever. He shows some mercy, like to Mudioku's group, probably to avoid trouble later. But Shakuang? Nope. After all their messing around, Mu Chen brings the hammer down. His buddies, Ro Li and Wen Qingqian, they just crush Sha Wang and Shakuang. Super fast, super brutal. Boom, Shakuang's group loses all their points off the leaderboard. Then Mu Chen gives Wen Qingqian a massive 20,000 points, shooting her up to 2nd place. Just behind the leader, Qian. Second, meet the big rival, Qian. And this guy, wow, he's not just powerful. He's got this deep personal grudge against Mu Chen. Get this, he's training like crazy under this huge waterfall, totally focused. He knows Mu Chen is smart, knows about the whole mercy, ruthlessness thing. But here's the real kicker. It's jealousy over Ro Li, because she's loyal to Mu Chen. Qian remembers back in the God battlefield, he almost had Mu Chen beat. But Ro Li stopped him cold, saving Mu Chen's reputation. So now, Qian wants to absolutely destroy Mu Chen in public. It's not just about winning, it's about proving he's better and making Ro Li notice him, even if it's through hate. Wild, right?
So yeah, this chapter really shows off Mu Chen's smarts, but also sets the stage for this incredibly personal showdown with Qian. Things are definitely going to get intense.